Appraisals versus inspections. Can they make or break your real estate investment deal? That's the topic for today's episode, and without further ado, let's dive in. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode. For those who are tuning in for the first time, this is your channel for real estate education. So today we're going to talk about appraisals and inspections. What are the differences? Are they both actually needed, and how they're actually going to impact your real estate deal? So let's just go to the board. So first things first, appraisals are actually ordered by the bank, while an inspection is actually ordered by you, the investor, right? So these over here is a mandatory thing. The bank demands that you get one. They have to get one, versus this over here during inspection, it is actually optional. It's recommended that you get it, but not necessary. You get this for your own peace of mind. The bank get this one for their own peace of mind. And what is it that you actually do with a appraisal? So what they do as a bank, think of it like a comp, something that a real estate agent would actually do for you. They want to see whether the value of the house is whatever you are claiming it to be, or whatever the seller is claiming it to be worth. So it's all about value, right? So if you're saying this house is worth $500,000, or this building, they want to see whether 500,000 is really the true value, or are you just simply inflating it? And if you're inflating it, hey, it might not go too well. Versus an inspection, you're actually using this to know what are you walking yourself into. So I actually created an episode not so long ago where I talked about my lessons learned and how I actually didn't leverage the inspections well. So I'm going to give you the link right here so you can watch it. But basically what you will do with an inspection is you're going to use it to see what is wrong with the house. What is it that you need to negotiate? What is it that you are willing to let go? Or either that, or the seller will have to bring the prices down of the houses or the house that you're trying to buy. So let's say, for example, if you find out that, in my case, the windows were not installed properly, then you can either use this inspection to sort of like tell the seller and say, either you fix that window or you're gonna have to knock down $30,000 out of the asking price. So that's when the real negotiation starts. So you're using it for yourself, and you also use it to make sure that there's no foundation or any big major damage to the house. So let's say, for example, if the foundations are bad or that the roof is about to fall off, you might want to consider buying that house unless it's in an extremely cheap price. Otherwise, it might not be worth for you to invest in that house, because a roof costs a lot of money to replace, and any foundation damages not only cost you a lot of money to replace or fix, it also costs you time. And for all I know, you might not even get the permit from the city or from the municipality, because they might even think that the house is not worth saving or renovating at that point, because it's been in such a poor condition that it's easier for you to just completely tear down the house. So definitely something that you have to consider. Versus here, they want to see, well, is this really as valuable as you claim it to be or not? Then the next one is that, believe it or not, the appraisals are highly subjective. Versus this, the inspection is actually based on facts. So ideally, what you will have the appraiser do, this person will be someone who's certified in appraising homes. They have all of their licenses, whatever, and they go in and they look at the house. They take down the measurements, the square footage, and they have to look for comparable houses that were sold within the vicinity, just to see if that sold price or that sale price actually match the price that the seller is asking for, or the amount that you're actually asking the bank to borrow you. So it is very subjective in my opinion, and I actually went through that one with a cash out refi and with the purchase of my 17 unit. So the bank works with their own appraisers. It's not something that you would normally go out of your way and say, oh, here's my appraisal. They typically have one in-house or maybe an agency that they work with, and they usually send their own appraiser to check whether the value is accurate or not, because they want to keep it independent, right? If you bring your own appraiser, chances are they sort of like work for you and they're going to give the number that you want to hear, and then the bank will probably not get what they want. So in order to prevent all of that, they work with their own people, they work with their own agency, and they send this person out here. Whether they run the comps or not, it's based on their opinion. That's why sometimes if you get the results of a appraisal and you disagree with it, you actually have the right to request another one or a third one, and then the bank will decide, okay, well, which one are we going to work with, and it's usually the one that gives the middle price, sort of like the credit, right? Now, if you come into the inspection side of it, the inspections are actually based on fact. They walk around the house, they take pictures, and they show the evidence. This is broken, this is broken, this is damaged, this needs fixing. There's no a lot of argument to go against that, because the hard evidence is right there. And again, it's up to you to use that information to your advantage or to just simply not use it. And then the last part, can any of these make or break your deal? It all depends on you, right? So let's say, for example, you have make or break, and it will be for both ends, right? So it will be for inspections and it will also be for the appraisals. Can an appraisal really break your deal or not? So let's say, for example, you're coming in here and you say, I want this property, I think it's worth $500,000, and I want you, the bank, the lender, to give me $500,000 so I can buy this property right here. But let's say the appraisal disagrees with you. The appraisal can come back and say, you know what, based on my research, based on my professional opinion, based on the comparables that I found in the area, houses that sort of look like yours are selling for $450,000, not $500,000. So the bank has to use this amount. Does that mean they're gonna deny your loan or kill the loan or just send you your way to go someplace else? Not necessarily. So what they can do for you, and this is what they did for me, is that one, they went up the ladder and they request for an increase in the loan. Even though there aren't any comparables, I happen to have a good relationship with the lender, and I also had a good tracking record that I can actually repay that money. That's why relationships are extremely important in real estate and in any business. Because of that, I wound up getting approved that $500,000 that I was requesting, even though the appraisal said whatever, it's not worth that money. But because the lender knows that it can be highly subjective, they agree to, as a courtesy, to give me that bump, and I was able to get that $500,000 loan. On the other hand, let's say you don't have those relationship bills with the bank yet, it's your first deal, and you can't really work that out. You have two additional options to do. You can either go to the seller and you can work out some type of creative financing where you're gonna pay the $50,000 difference back to this person and say, hey, I'm gonna pay you this much in 1 year, whatever, you work it out. Or you can just continue to take $450,000 and you come up with the rest yourself. How do you do that? Well, you can leverage credit cards, you can bring a joint partner with you, you can borrow money from someone else, hard money lenders, the choice is yours, but it doesn't necessarily mean your deal is off the table just because the bank didn't approve that. So you can still get a hold of the deal. It's all a matter of how creative you can get to come up with the difference in that money that the bank is unwilling to give you. So that's one. Now, with inspections, can they really make or break the deal? That one will depend entirely up to you, just like with the appraisal. So let's say you come in here with the inspection and you sit down with the seller and you say, you know what, I don't like how these windows are looking. We're gonna need to talk pricing, you either fix it or whatever. And most often than not, they are willing to agree with you because their interest is all just to sell the property. Maybe they need the money to go someplace else to invest. Maybe they're retiring. They just want to enjoy a nice vacation with their grandkids and stuff like that. So chances are they will be willing to compromise and meet you halfway, either by fixing the windows or by fixing whatever issue is it that the report is showing, or just simply by lowering the price because they just don't want to deal with it and say, you know what, I'll just knock off $30,000 off the asking price, or just knock off $50,000 off the asking price because I just want to get this over with and not deal with it. So there you go. Inspections and appraisal. Can it really make or break your deal? As you see, that will be entirely up to you and how you actually learn to negotiate and how you decide to just use the reports, use the appraisals to your advantage. One thing I wanted to add is if you see that the house is in such a bad shape because of the inspection, you might want to consider whether that's a good deal or not, because maybe on the surface it looked good with the numbers, but hey, if you have to go in and do major repairs, major renovations, that it's going to get you out of budget, that's going to require a lot of your time, maybe that's something that you will want to consider very, very carefully. So that's it. That's all I have for today. And I really hope you found the content valuable. And as usual, don't forget to share the love with anyone you know who you think might be finding good use to this information. And don't forget to hit the like button or the subscribe. And again, if you're interested in mentorship, here's the contact information for you to reach out to me or any of my team. And until then, I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye.